G'day guys, DYLIEDOG here. Now today in this video we're going to be ranking all the story from the Outlands trailers that have been released by Apex Legends, including the one that was released recently with the Gridiron trailer. Now just like to quickly mention guys, that all these ranking videos are just my opinion of course, so make sure to let me know your opinion down below of what your favourite story from the Outlands trailer is. And just one more thing before we start guys, I just want to quickly say as well, that I actually don't dislike any of the story from the Outlands trailers at all. So, if I do rank one a little bit lower than another one, it doesn't necessarily mean that I hate it, but it just means that I don't like it as much as certain ones that I do really love. But now guys, let's move into ranking the story from the Outlands trailers. I think what we will do is we'll rank them based on the release of all of them. So of course that would mean that we would start with the Voidwalker. So the Voidwalker actually released back in Season 2, I believe. This was the beginning of Apex releasing these types of trailers. And man, I actually really love the Voidwalker trailer. I recently watched all of them again in preparation for this video. And if you guys have like a good 40 minutes to spare in time, like, you know, you're just finishing your homework, I don't know, just have a little bit of time to spare, I would go back and watch them all, because I actually did, and I thought that it's like a really good watch to sit there and just watch all of these like creations that Respawn and Apex Legends have been able to make. And the Voidwalker one is definitely one of my favourites. Maybe because it was one of the first ones that I did see. And it was one of the reasons why I did actually come back to the game back in Season 2. Because it was just such a good trailer. They talked all about Wraith's backstory. How she escaped from the labs and all her backstory. It's just really cool. I'm not really a huge lore person. I don't know everything about the lore in Apex Legends. But that trailer specifically really got me back into Apex Legends itself. Got me really hyped for Season 2. I think I'm just going to rank this one in S tier because it's just such a good trailer. I'm not, again, like, I'm not big on like the history of Titanfall and stuff, so if there's something like historically incorrect, I'm not 100% sure on that. But just the trailer itself, I just loved it. It was such a good trailer, and yeah, I think it deserves S tier. And now we get to Watson's trailer. A Father's Letter. Now this one was quite short, but it obviously did talk a little bit about Watson. I think a lot of these ones that I will be ranking today, a lot of them, the ones that are shorter, usually are the ones that I'm not a fan of 100% compared to the longer ones. I feel like the longer ones are just so good because they talk such a broad variety of backstory for all the legends. And I wish they went more into the lore of Watson a little bit in this trailer, because this is just as she released. I didn't hate it by any means, but I wish they went more into Watson's lore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one probably in B tier. I wish they just went into more of her backstory. So yeah, we'll put that one in B tier. Now we get to one of my personal favourites, which is Forever Family, which is about Crypto. This one is definitely one of my favourites. It's not the longest trailer, but the way they talk about how Crypto and Mila, how she was helping him try to stay underground and stuff, how he had to change and then getting caught, changing his whole identity, and then going into the Apex games. That was just such a good trailer. The way he runs away from people trying to capture him, and how he uses his abilities as well. Like, we get a first look at his abilities. It's such a good trailer, the Forever Family trailer. I think I'm going to chuck this one in S tier as well. I really love this trailer for Crypto, and I wish they went into that story a little bit more of Mila. Now, another one of my favourites has to be the Forge story from the Outlands trailer. This one's actually probably my favourite. Now, up close and personal. When we were introduced to Forge in Season 4, a lot of Datamine information came out before that was released. When Respawn came out and said Forge was the new legend, everyone was saying it was Revenant, and we were all shocked. We were all like, who is Forge? We've never heard of this legend before. And they saw this trailer, and then all of a sudden we see like an interview with this woman, and Forge is talking about how he's coming to the Apex games, he's ready to prove himself, and then there's a little bit of static, and then Revenant's hidden behind, and that look of the reporter of watching that Revenant's about to kill Forge, one of the best moments probably from any story from the Outlands trailers. And again, I'm probably, there are a few that I'm going to put a little bit lower, but again, some of the earlier ones were so good, man. I think this deserves S tier as well. Up close and personal, probably my favourite one. Again, like, it's not the longest, but it's probably good that it wasn't long, because we don't want to learn the whole backstory of a legend we're not going to play. Revenant just proved himself as like the most fearsome legend. Now he's not so much, but back then everyone feared Revenant. Now next up we have Loba's story from the Outlands, Legacy of the Thief. I don't mind this one because obviously it's a quick like little look at how Loba as a child is sitting over her father's dead body. My problem with this one is that backstory of Loba and Revenant, it's such a pivotal moment in the Apex lore. I wish they went so much deeper into this. I wish they showed a little bit more of how she grew up. The trailer only goes for like 2 minutes. I feel like that's one of the pivotal moments in Apex lore, and they kind of not brush over Loba, but I just wish they went a deep dive into how she grew up. So just personally on that, I'm going to put this one in C tier. Again, like I've said all along, I definitely don't dislike any of these trailers. I feel like they're all so good in their own right. This one, I just wish they had like an 8 to 10 minute trailer just on Loba's lore. Now, next up, we should talk about Rampart's one, the Endorsement. Now, I actually do like this trailer about Rampart. After Season 5, we heard a lot about the Revenant and Loba lore that was surrounding the whole game. And then they introduced this legend. And I did like how they were in her workshop and Big Sister, they tried to put her up against this challenge. And then she gets endorsed by Blisk. He comes in, and it's probably the first time we've seen Blisk in Apex since like day 1, I think it was, when they showed him in the launch trailer. It was the first time we saw Blisk, and he gave her the card to enter the Apex games. I really like that. Would I say it's S tier? No, but I did like this trailer quite a lot. So I'd probably put this one in A tier, because I did like how they showed Blisk. And yeah, I thought it was actually quite a good trailer. So I think A is probably fair for the Endorsement. Now let's talk about the Promise trailer. Now this one, setting up Olympus, this one was something different. The Promise trailer, talking about Horizon, how she was trying to get the Branthium. The fact that they introduced Ashley Reed as well, and then they go back to that in the Ashes to Ash trailer, like in Season 11. I like that. That's like how they showed like little snippets back then. Obviously they're showing that the lore is continuous. I love how they do this, Respawn. It's very good. The Promise trailer, again, is probably one of my favourites. Talking about Horizon and her son, Newton. She's always made a promise, and that she's trying to fight back to see what happened to him. Another great trailer. I think it's S tier. Again, they're all so good in their own right. But yeah, some of them I think are better than others. But this one definitely a high tier one. Now, What's Why I Believe is probably one of the funniest trailers that I've watched for the story from the Outlands. A lot of them are supposed to be serious, and this one's definitely a serious point. But the Fight Night trailer, I rewatched it to get preparation for this video, and I don't know why, but Pathfinder is just so funny. Kiss Edgley, the voice actor for Pathfinder, does such a good job with gives him such personality for a robot. I know people are going to say, oh, he's not a robot. Well, to me, he's a robot. But he has such personality for someone who doesn't obviously have a soul and a heart and that sort of stuff. And the way he's like always looking for his creator at the time, it's just so funny. And the way they obviously show how, like, why he's got the boxing gloves for his heirloom is another really good trailer. I'm going to do this. I know, I'm sorry. I just really like watching them back. This another S tier one. I really liked how they made that one quite funny as well. And I know that wasn't like that probably wasn't the aim from Respawn, but it was just quite a funny trailer. So yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention the Old Ways trailer as well. Now this one was another really good one. This one's actually the longest story from the Outlands trailer. I think it's just over 10.5 minutes. Really good trailer again for Bloodhound. I'm definitely a fan of it. I probably just want to put an S tier. I'm not too sure if it's one of my absolute favourites. I did enjoy watching it again. I think I'm going to put it A tier. I'm definitely not against this trailer. I thought it was a very good one. But I think I just like the other one sitting in S just a little bit more. Now let's talk about Mozzie Boy. The introduction of Fuse. Good as gold. Would I say this is my favourite trailer? Probably not. Even though I just called him Mozzie Boy. I wish they went a little bit more into a little bit more of the lore of Fuse. I think that's what's going to happen this season though, because all the leaks are suggesting that Mad Maggie, who we saw quite a bit in this trailer, is going to be the Season 12 legend. So I think we're going to get a little more Fused lore. I don't know, I'm just not the hugest fan of this one. I can't wait to see more about Fused lore, because we haven't really seen much in Season 8. We saw that trailer, and then we don't really know much about Fuse at the moment, so I'm actually kind of excited to learn a bit more about him. But for this trailer on its own, I think I'll put it B tier. Now, probably one of the biggest links to Titanfall that Apex Legends ever had with one of these trailers, and it has to be the North Star trailer for Valkyrie. Now, this one was one of the biggest ones, obviously talking about her father wanting to take a legacy, her talking to Blisk as well, trying to get an endorsement from her to join the Apex games. Later did get it, but even just going back to her childhood and talking to her father, who was a pilot. Such a good trailer that really got the hype up for Season 9, and I feel like that's what are always good about these stories from the Outlands trailers. If they can get so much hype for a new season, I feel like that's always a good positive for a story from the Outlands trailers. So, yeah, and plus the Titan link obviously being North Star and being one of the main Titans in Titanfall. I'm going to put this one S tier as well. I think it deserves it. I wish Season 9 was a little bit better because it set it up so well. but that deserved S tier. Now let's talk about Seer. Yeah, Metamorphosis. Now this one, I watched this one back. The baby Seer scared the shit out of me, dude. What the hell is... I get like how his eyes are supposed to be like, you know, kills you at the sight of it. They're freaking weird, man. And it's really interesting. We haven't got much Seer lore at all. At least I know of. I mean, I've hardly seen any sort of like lore for Seer. I feel like I don't even know why he's in the game. It just felt like they just filled him in, like, oh yeah, just shove him in, whatever. Just fill him in before we get Ash in Season 11. I still think it's an okay trailer. But comparing them to all the others, I think I'm going to put this one in D tier. Yeah, I'm sorry to any Seer mains out there who like the lore of Seer, or, I don't know, like his eyes, think they're hot or something, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of that one specifically. And it's also quite short. So if they're not going to talk too much about Seer in the season, I feel like they should go all out in the trailer beforehand. But now let's talk about Ash. Ashes to Ash. Now this one obviously starts with Ashley Reed, and then they talk about how she gets transformed into a simulacrum and made into Ash, but also how she's still got some sort of consciousness in Ash, Ashley Reed, how she's trying to break out. Again, if I'm probably butchering that 100%. Trying to break out, talk to Horizon and tell her what's going on, what happened to Newton. Again, such a good trailer. It really set up Season 11 the way, you know, everyone wanted. I think they just knocked this one straight out of the park. I think I'm just chucking this one in S as well. I know I've chucked so many in S, but this is why people want a Netflix series of Apex Legends, man. They just know how to make these sort of trailers really, really good. And finally, guys, we have the most recent trailer, which is Gridiron talking about the Bangalore backstory and how she left the IMC and how she, her brother went AWOL in the IMC. Now, I watched this one just recently, obviously today, if this video comes out in time. I did really like this trailer. I watched it this morning. I thought it was really, really good. We really didn't really know much about her brother. We knew that she obviously had a brother. Even a couple of voice lines we've heard this season. They've been talking about how she wants to find out more about what happened to her brother. And we did get a little bit more knowledge about that today, which I thought was really good. But like I mentioned a little bit earlier, when I see a trailer get so much hype for the game, I feel like that makes it so much better. I think it's a really good trailer. I don't think it was S tier, and plus the skin I thought was a bit crap, to be honest. Kind of like a rare skin. I still think it holds up very well, and obviously any sort of Bangalore backstory is always pretty good in my opinion. So I think we'll chuck this one in B. I feel like that's okay. But yeah, guys, I think that's my story from the Outlands tier list. Of course, guys, like I've mentioned in all of these tier list videos, these are just my opinion. So make sure to let me know your opinion down below, what your favourite story from the Outlands trailer is. Yeah, guys, I think that is all from me. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave it a like and also subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with your daily Apex Legends content. But anyway, guys, DYLIEDOG, we'll catch you all later.